explore the outstanding world of STEAM. STEAM, an acronym of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It represents the synergy of these diverse fields. It's not just an acronym, it's a philosophy that emphasizes a holistic approach to learning, fostering creativity, innovation, and interdisciplinary thinking. Allow me to briefly unpack each term. Science, the systematic duty of the natural world. Technology, the practical application of scientific knowledge. Engineering, the application of scientific and mathematical principles. Arts, the expression of creativity and imagination. Mathematics, the language of patterns and relationships. With gratitude, we thank each of you for being a part of this event. Your presence is a testament to the importance of STEAM in shaping the future. Thank you, and let's embark on this enlightening journey today. For the recitation of the Holy Quran, I'm honored to invite Rohma Ashfaq as we immerse ourselves in the richness of knowledge and innovation in the spirit of unity and reverence. Let's all welcome Rohma Ashraf.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم और अल्लाह ताला ने आदम अलैहिस्सलाम को तमाम अशिया के नाम सिखाए। फिर सब अशिया को मलाइका पर पेश करके फरमाया, सच्चे हो तो इनके नाम को बताओ। बोले, तो पाक है, जितना इल्म तूने हमें बख्शा है इसके सिवा हमें कुछ मालूम नहीं। बेशक तू दाना हिकमत वाला है। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम।
Thank you, Rohma, for gracing us with the serene recitation of Holy Quran. As we bask in the divine words of the Holy Quran, let the spirit of harmony and devotion continue to develop us. It's my pleasure to invite Ms. Aisha Batul to the stage for a heartfelt recitation of Naat. Ms. Aisha.
मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है। कमाल खल्लाक ज़ात उसकी, जमाल हस्ती हयात उसकी, बशर नहीं अज़मते बशर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है। शऊर लाया किताब लाया, वो हश्र तक का निसाब लाया, दिया भी कामिल नज़ाम उसने, और आप ही इनक़लाब लाया, वो इल्म की अमल की हद भी अज़ल भी उसका है, और अबद भी वो हर ज़माने का राहबर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है। कमाल खल्लाक ज़ात उसकी, जमाल हस्ती हयात उसकी, बशर नहीं अज़मते बशर है, मेरा पैगंबर अजीम तर है।
Jazakallah, Miss Aisha Batul, for the melodious tribute. Ladies and gentlemen, with utmost respect and admiration, we stand before a luminary whose contribution have woven an inspiring tapestry in the realms of genetics and education. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Shahid Mahmood Baig, a revered scholar and a distinguished chairman of the Pakistan Science Foundation. Dr. Baig's journey is a living testament to excellence and an unwavering addition to the pursuit of knowledge. Notably, Dr. Baig's commitment to societal betterment has been acknowledged with prestigious awards, including Hilal Imtiaz and Sitara Imtiaz. These honors symbolize the nation's profound gratitude towards the nation's son and his outstanding services and dedication. Completing his PhD research on prenatal diagnosis of B thalassemia, jointly from Bosphorus University, Istanbul, Turkey, and Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad, Dr. Baig's global perspective enriches his insight, expanding the horizons of genetic research. In spirit of respect and honor, it's my distinct pleasure to invite Dr. Shahid Mahmood Baig to grace the stage. Sir, please. Your presence dignifies our gatherings, and we eagerly anticipate the wisdom you shall impart upon us today. Sir, please.
जी, thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's so refreshing and heartening to see such a house full of young, excited scientists, enthusiastic scientists. I am thankful to the organizers, the team, Dr. Shaista, Professor Amanullah, and other colleagues for organizing this scientific event. I know it takes efforts of many weeks and months to arrange such a big event, international event. And the title which you have chosen for this, it covers everything. All disciplines of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and arts, STEAM. And this is the science which is required in Pakistan. In Pakistan, our old textbooks and the system of education, it is based on memorization. People don't learn the skills and the philosophy behind the natural phenomena and mechanisms and methods, etc. They try to memorize. But this STEM education has revolutionized the field of science, technology, and everything. And the developed world, in the developed countries, the STEM education has been in place from the last 30 to 40 years. You talk about USA, China, Singapore, all the Western countries. Their students, they right from beginning, they are learning through STEM education. Pakistan Science Foundation has also initiated the STEM education program throughout Pakistan by establishing 50 STEM labs in all over Pakistan. Initially, in the first phase, where the students will learn biology, mathematics, chemistry, physics, engineering. We have not included the arts, but now in the next scheme, we are going to incorporate the arts as well. So the name STEAM will be implemented in the coming months. Under this program, we are establishing 50 labs, and in those labs, we are providing the 3D printers, vinyl cutters, laser cutters, design computers, and STEM module kits. So far, Pakistan Science Foundation, with the help of STEM program of China, we have established 250 modules which will cover the biology, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, which will be implemented and taught in those 50 schools initially, and then we will expand this. As the title indicates, there are always challenges and opportunities. We are in Pakistan. We have several challenges to do good science in Pakistan, but at the same time, there are several opportunities. And I always say we are sitting in the paradise of scientific opportunities. Pakistan is the paradise. The challenges, actually, these are the opportunities. If you talk about climate, health, energy, and all other challenges, these are actually opportunities. मैं genomics में काम करता रहा हूँ throughout my career, और I tell you कि जितने opportunities genomics में, health sciences में, environment में, पाकिस्तान में हैं, और जितनी opportunities हैं दुनिया में कहीं भी नहीं हैं. हमारी जो population है, it is a wonderful resource to do a lot of work on health sciences. You talk about infectious diseases, you talk about genetic diseases, you talk about metabolic diseases. So this is land of opportunity. And what we have to do in Pakistan, we are resource, we have limited resources, limited funded. We need to establish the networking and the collaborations. In the morning, we were talking about the challenges in Pakistan. There are several challenges, but we can collaborate, we can establish networking, and this platform is a wonderful platform to establish the networking, to share your resources. No laboratory or no university in the world has all the facilities under one roof. So you have to look for your partners, your collaborators, and do the collaborative science. So these are the opportunities. And जैसे मैंने बताया कि एनवायरनमेंट में, ये एनर्जी में, हेल्थ में, पाकिस्तान में इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं काम करने की. सिर्फ जो कमी है वो रिसोर्सेज की है. वो रिसोर्सेज हम ऐसे ही वो कर सकते हैं कि आपस में शेयर करें और आपस में एक दूसरे के साथ मिल के काम करें जैसे दुनिया में काम करते हैं. दुनिया में जितनी अच्छी साइंस है, इट इज़ थ्रू कोलैबोरेशंस एंड नेटवर्किंग. चाहे आप हार्वर्ड में चले जाएं, MIT में चले जाएं, कैम्ब्रिज में चले जाएं, वहाँ जितने भी साइंटिस्ट काम करते हैं, दे वर्क बाय कोलैबोरेशन एंड नेटवर्किंग. दुनिया में किसी भी जगह सारी फैसिलिटीज़, सारी एक्सपर्टीज़ एक छत के नीचे नहीं होती. वो ज़माना चला गया जब वो लोग आइसोलेशन में काम करते थे कि जी बस मुझे आता है, मैं किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं करता. नाउ द वर्ल्ड हैज़ चेंज्ड. आप जब किसी से शेयर करते हैं तो आपका काम भी स्ट्रेंथन होता है, उनका काम भी स्ट्रेंथन होता है. एंड अल्टीमेटली यू कम अप विद सोल्यूशन. जो हमारे करंट इश्यूज़ हैं, नेशनल इश्यूज़ हैं, हमने उनके ऊपर काम करना है. और हम अकेले आइसोलेशन में यू कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग. ये हमारा एक्सपीरियंस है जो आपके साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं. हमने पाकिस्तान में काम किया है और यहाँ भी देयर आर वंडरफुल अपॉर्चुनिटीज़. और अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ वो ऐसे ही है कि आपने एक दूसरे के साथ मिल के अपनी एक्सपर्टीज़ को, अपने रिसोर्सेज को, अपने नॉलेज को शेयर करना है. और रिसोर्सेज जैसे मैंने बताया कि आई एम वर्किंग एट पाकिस्तान साइंस फाउंडेशन. ऑल द टाइम वी आर स्ट्राइविंग टू हैव मोर एंड मोर फंडिंग. लेकिन हर साल हमें यही बताया जाता है कि जी अब वो पहले से कम हो गई है, इसे कट लगाएं. लेकिन इसके बावजूद हमने, ये हमारे चैलेंजेस हैं, इसके बावजूद हमने जो साइंस है इससे वो करते रहना है. सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी रखनी है, इंटरनेशनल फंडिंग भी सिक्योर करनी है. और आई टेल यू, हम दुनिया में उस वक़्त तक सर उठा के नहीं चल सकते, तरक्की नहीं कर सकते जब तक हम साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को अपना जो प्रायोरिटी ना बना लें. दुनिया में जितने भी मुल्कों ने तरक्की की है, दे हैव प्रोग्रेस्ड on the basis of their science and technology. They started science and technology 40, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. We have started science and technology and thinking about science and technology 30 or 40 years ago. हम साइंस में नए हैं, लेकिन जैसे मैंने बताया कि यहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ बेशुमार हैं, चैलेंजेस भी बेशुमार हैं. और यहाँ पे बहुत सारी अच्छी एग्जांपल्स हैं कि पाकिस्तान में रहते हुए लोगों ने लोकल रिसोर्सेज से और बाहर के साथ मिल के बड़े अच्छे काम किए हैं. तो मैं एक दफ़ा फिर ये ऑर्गेनाइज़र का भी शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा कि उन्होंने इतना अच्छा साइंटिफिक इवेंट वो अरेंज किया. और आप, आई एश्योर यू, पाकिस्तान साइंस फाउंडेशन इज़ विद यू. The mandate of Pakistan Science Foundation is to promote the science, to fund the science, and to popularize the science. So this is a very good platform to popularize the science, to tell our young scientists that what is the scope of science in Pakistan. और साइंस का स्कोप सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में नहीं है, पूरी दुनिया में इसका स्कोप है. आप अच्छी साइंस करेंगे, और मुझे नहीं पता कि यहाँ पे कितने इंटरनेशनल डेलीगेट्स आए हैं, तो दिस इज़ द बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म टू इस्टेब्लिश द नेटवर्किंग. इन्हीं प्लेटफॉर्म पे अगर आपने पोस्टर्स भी बनाए हैं तो दूसरे साइंटिस्ट आके आपके पोस्टर देखते हैं, वहाँ से उन्हें पता चलता है आप क्या काम कर रहे हैं, तो वो आपके साथ नेटवर्किंग इस्टेब्लिश करते हैं. PhD स्टूडेंट वो आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, अपने रिसर्च कोलैबोरेटर आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. तो मैं आई एम अगेन थैंकफुल टू दिस यूनिवर्सिटी एंड द administration of this university, faculty of this university. They have arranged such a big scientific event in this city. साइंस के लिए जितने फंडिंग चाहिए वो फंडिंग तो पाकिस्तान साइंस फाउंडेशन के पास भी नहीं है. और ये हायर देयर आर ओनली 2 institutions which are providing funding for science and technology. One is the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan and other is the Pakistan Science Foundation. Pakistan Science Foundation में alhamdulillah I have been able to secure a handsome amount of money to support science and technology in Pakistan. जब मैंने join किया था almost 3 years ago, तो there was a very tiny amount to support the science and technology throughout Pakistan. but over the time, I have been able to increase it to 3 times. तो अब हमारे पास ठीक है, we are not very rich, but we are not very poor. We have handsome amount of money to support the science, and the call for proposals, for scientific proposal, are open throughout the year. Please send us this concept paper, and once the concept paper is approved, we ask you to submit the full proposal. The full proposal goes to the 2 external reviewers. If they recommend it, then your application is successful, and it is a 6 months to 1 year process. So please feel free, if you organize any conference, any scientific event, or you wish to travel abroad, you can contact Pakistan Science Foundation, and this is our mandate and our duty to support and to popularize the science in Pakistan. So have a nice day, and I hope you will enjoy the talks of the speakers. And once again, thank you for organizing, and it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for being the guiding light in our academic journey, sir. Dr. Asad Aslam Khan, World Health Organization Coordinator for Prevention and Control of Blindness, serving the eye and vision health since 4 decades. Has been the pioneer in the field of ophthalmology in Pakistan, leading as principal of College of Ophthalmology and Allied Vision Sciences, Lahore. Government of Pakistan, in his acclaim of the services provided by him, has bestowed him with Sitare-Imtiaz. He is the best ophthalmologist in Lahore. Additionally, he served his alma mater, King Edward Medical College, as the Vice Chancellor. Sir, may I please have your gracious presence here?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Guest, Shahid Sahab, dignitaries on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I am grateful to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to come to University of Faisalabad and participate in this wonderful conference. When I left Lahore, so I thought there was a small session on optometry, but I was surprised, that rather astonished by the huge gathering in which there are all disciplines of medical sciences. So my heartfelt congratulations to University of Faisalabad and the organizers, especially to University of Faisalabad, for proving their worth and proving their standards of education, which is being depicted by a large number of students getting their education in this university. I will very briefly tell you how the youngsters of our country can change the fate of a country. And this is very well can be assessed by the prevalence of blindness, which has been dropped from 1.78% in year 2002 to 0.45% in year 2021. How it happened? It happened because of our youngsters. When we did a situation analysis in year 1999 and later, we found there were only ophthalmologists in the country, and there was no allied vision sciences discipline ever existed in Pakistan. There was no concept but to talk about the post of optometrist. There was no concept of orthoptist. There was no concept of ophthalmic technologist. And the government of Pakistan made a plan through the National Committee for Eye Health. That was a 5-year plan in which we I was the chairman of the National Committee for Eye Health and National Coordinator. So we made a plan under the Ministry of Health that there should be the post of optometrist at each teaching hospital, at each DHQ hospital, and each Tehsil headquarter hospital. There should be post of orthoptist and ophthalmic technologist at all level of healthcare in Pakistan. And we started BSc Honours program, the first ever at King Edward Medical University. It's attached institution, College of Ophthalmology and Light Vision Sciences. The first batch, the pioneer batch, it graduated in 2007. And since then, we have produced more than 1,200 optometrists, orthoptists, and ophthalmic technologists who are serving across the country, not only in Punjab, but in Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and AJK. And what I mean to say is, there was only one ophthalmologist in an institution at DHQ level and THQ level. And he used to do everything. He used to do refraction, he used to prescribe contact lenses, he used to take history. And there was very little time left for the ophthalmologist to go to operation theatre or concentrate on the other diseases of eye. And he used to spend most of the time on refraction, contact lenses, history taken, vision. So this part was taken care of by the optometrists, ophthalmic technologists and orthoptists. And now we are working as a team which is comprising of ophthalmologists, optometrists, orthoptists and ophthalmic technologists. And they are working at all level of healthcare, teaching, DHQ, THQ. And when we did our survey of prevalence of blindness in 2019 to 2021, we came to know that our prevalence of blindness has reduced from 1.78% in 2002 to 0.45% in year 2021. So this is all attributed to the teamwork of ophthalmologists, optometrists, ophthalmic technologists and orthoptists. And not only this, that they are the just simple BSc graduate, BSc Honours graduate, many of them excelled. Many of them, they did their MPhil. And the pioneer optometrist who did PhD, who went to Australia, who was sent by Higher Education Commission. And we are unlucky at KE, but University of Faisalabad is lucky to have Ms. Maimuna as the first ever PhD in optometry, and she is serving in University of Faisalabad. So you people are very lucky that you are having a very, very qualified optometrist who is PhD, and another one is coming. She is also our colleague. She is also doing Rabia Mobin. She is also doing PhD, and she will be soon coming back, and hopefully she will be attracted by Maimuna to this institution, and she will not let her to join King Edward or any other institution, public sector. So this is your worth. This is your worth of a right health professional. Many of us visited so many hospitals, so many medical institutions abroad, and the hospitals, they are run by the allied health professionals. The doctors, it's always a teamwork. Doctors do their part of the job. The rest is covered by the allied health professionals and the nursing. So, be proud of your profession. Do not think that the optometrists, initially they used to think that perhaps they are not doctors. But now they realize their worth. You went to North America, you go to Europe, the worth of optometry they know who travel. So what is their worth? So be confident, be proud of your profession. Everyone, I know very little about optometry. If I compare myself with Ubaid, Javed Saab, Memuna, and other. So I know 10% of the optometry. So it is not necessary that everyone should be at every place. So be proud of your profession, be confident in your profession, and best of luck for your future. And I must congratulate once again the University of Faisalabad. Their one branch is in Lahore, so Green University. So I must congratulate for providing an excellent, high quality, high standard medical and allied health professional education to our young generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the word, sir. The next session chair, Dr. Saadullah Malik, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology. He has expertise in pharmaceutical chemistry and in drug development and published 100+ research works in renowned journals. He has vast experience in organizing international conferences. We are very privileged to have you here, sir. May I please have your presence? Sir, please, Ajay. Sir, for a couple of minutes. Dear Dr. Fatiha Mubin, I may please invite you for your enlightening note. Your insights have enriched our understanding and inspired all in the attendance. May I please have your presence here, madam? Presentation. Point. Take it. And what about point? Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to pay my sincere thanks to the organizer of this event. And I'm really very happy to see a lot of beautiful faces and majority of ladies. So I'm really feeling very happy. And thank you very much, Dr. Shaista, for inviting me on such a beautiful event. And I'm really feeling proud to be here, and because I'm from NIPG, and I have seen many faces in faculty and also invited guests. And also I'm really feeling proud for Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg, who is one of our mentor, and he is presiding this event. Thank you very much, sir. Now, the people, they are talking about different topics, because I have seen that there is mixed gathering of different disciplines. But the topic assigned to me is about biotechnology. What is biotechnology? We are from National Institute for Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering, and my main focus of research during my service period is about the environmental biotechnology. So I will discuss about what is, just to educate you all people, what is going on in NIPG regarding environmental biotechnology. My group is Plant Microbiome and Biofertilizer Group, and these are my group members. So, what is biotechnology? Biotechnology is the technology based on biology. This is very simple, but not this is very simple. Biotechnology is, leading towards the cellular and biomolecular processes to develop technology and the products that help to ease your life and to work for your life. And this is not a new term, because the people, they are using this biotechnology approaches from about many years ago, because they are making bread, they are fermenting the products, and simplest is that they are making yogurts at home. So this is some very simple biotechnology which we were using, but now I will talk about green biotechnology. What is green biotechnology? Because I'm from environmental biotechnology, so we are working for the protection of environment from harmful effects of different factors which are affecting environment and polluting our lives. We are using this green biotechnology term applied to the agriculture processes and the other environmental factors which are producing more environmentally friendly solutions to the alternative of traditional technologies in the agriculture. Aim of green biotechnology is to tackle the food security issues and plants for fuels and reduce the environmental footprints of industry. What are the applications of green biotechnology? In NIPG, I would like to introduce you about that we have 4 scientific working divisions. One is agriculture biotechnology division, in which we are working for the production of different genetically engineered crops, and also we are working for different tools which are useful in biotechnology, which are useful for in the daily routine life. And also in industrial biotechnology, we are working for the production of different enzymes by using the biological tools, health biotechnology, as Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg introduced you all, that we are working for different, applying different biotechnological tools to control the diseases and to go into the depth of these problems and health issues. Along with this all, when we are talking about soil and environmental biotechnology, we are working for the to provide the biotechnological approaches which are useful for to protect our environment, health of soil and water, etc. So when we are using the term green biotechnology, we can apply on industrial and plant genetic engineering and other processes. I would like to introduce you all with a term sustainable agriculture. This is a commitment to satisfy the human food requirement and the fiber need to enhance the quality of life of the farmer and as a society as a whole. So our group is working for the sustainable agriculture approaches. In this way, depends upon the production economics, environment and biodiversity, and consumer food safety and utilization. I have used a word, tiny creatures. What is tiny creatures? These tiny creatures are the microorganisms or the blessing of Allah Almighty, and they are for useful purpose. Sometimes it is misconcept that the bacteria and fungi are producing diseases and harmful for the environment, but most of the bacteria and fungi, they are very much useful, and we can use them for the different purposes as a beneficial microbes. So these are the tiny creatures, these are the living microorganisms, and these are the economical replacement of expensive chemical fertilizer. We are using these tiny creatures as a biofertilizers to provide replacement or supplement of our crops to enhance their productivity and their growth improvement. So these are the natural mini fertilizer factories. Because they are natural, so they are non-pathogenic and environmental friendly, and most of these, they are, when I'm talking about these microorganisms, these beneficial microorganisms, these are nitrogen fixers and phytohormone producers, phosphate solubilizers, and also they are having the potential of biologically control the plant diseases. So in this way, we can say that the biofertilizer are the substances. These are the substances which contain microorganisms. When we apply them into the soil, they increase its fertility and promote plant growth. Bioresources for sustainable agriculture systems are of two types. These are biofertilizer and biopesticide. As you all know that the chemical fertilizers, they are not only polluting our environment, they are entering into the food chain, and they are totally, hazardous to the environment. So to reduce the chemical inputs, there are two types of there are different types of bioresources, and the important for the crop are the biofertilizers and biopesticide. They are the main ingredient for the organic farming. So these are some type of mechanism which these biofertilizers, or the tiny creature, they are, using for the enhancing the plant growth and increasing yield. When we are talking about the improvement in soil health, how these tiny creatures or the microorganisms, they are useful for improving soil health. They are improving soil structure, and these biofertilizers, they enhance the soil aggregation, promoting better water retention and aeration. Then we can also say that these are also increasing the microbial diversity, because we are adding these microorganisms into the soil. So they are increasing microbial population and beneficial microbial population in the soil for the betterment of the plant. And in this way, because these microorganisms, they are capable of improving plant health by making the unavailable nutrients to the available form. So they are, making these unavailable nutrients to the plant. So in this way, we can say that these biofertilizers are important for the soil texture and yield of plant. These are the eco-friendly and cost-effective. And these biofertilizers, they can protect the environment from different pollutants, because we are reducing the input of chemical fertilizers, so they are protecting our environment. And also they are proved effective against the biotic and abiotic stresses. This is the very brief history of biofertilizers. And especially I will focus on the biofertilizer production and research in Pakistan. You can see this journey was started from Ayub Agriculture Research Institute, Faisalabad, and they produced the biofertilizer with the name of Beej Ka Tika. And then after that, it was initiated in 1996 at NIPG, and then they produced the biofertilizer with the name of Biopower. And now we are on the stage, and this is our mentor, our previous group. Most of the people who worked on these biofertilizer production are present in this picture. So now we are on the stage that we are producing biopower along with the phosphorus pool. These two crops products are available, commercially available to the farmers. And now the other products which are in pipeline, these are the biocompost and TrichoShield and many other which are protecting environment. What we are doing for protecting our environment, we are producing the biofertilizers for different crops and developing next generation biofertilizers for saline soils, especially for phosphorus and potassium deficient soils, drought prone soils, and development of, we are also developing, we have developed the compost based biofertilizer, organic fertilizer for vegetable tunnel farming, and we are also using potential antagonistic bacteria and fungi for the biological control of plant diseases. And we are also working for the phosphate solubilization microorganisms to use them as a biofertilizer for the phosphate deficient soils. So in this always we are providing eco-friendly efforts. We are doing eco-friendly efforts for green agriculture to increase the productivity and profitability and to protect the natural resources and to improve the soil health and safety of food. And in this way we are also protecting our climate from the hazardous effect of different chemical inputs. These are the different products which are commercially available to the farmer from NIPG. And these are some of the glimpses which are due to by using these products, and mode of application of these products are very simple. And this is the work we have done in previous many years with the help of WWF. As far as plant disease management is concerned, we have developed different products with the name as a biocontrol agent. We are using these as a biopesticide to eradicate the use of chemical pesticides. As you know that these chemical pesticides, they are very much harmful to the human health as well. So we are providing these biocontrol agents as biopesticide to the farmer. I will not go into the details of production and other things, but it is a main aim of this biopesticide production is that these are not harmful to the non-target species. So these are only harmful to the target species, and they are controlling the crop diseases in this way. We have worked on trichoderma-based biopesticides, and we developed a product with the name after many years of extensive research work, and now it is we are capable of providing this this biopesticide with the name of TrichoShield. We are also working for the nutrient enrichment, temperature tolerant biofertilizers, and we are also working for the providing soil specific and genotype specific biofertilizers. We have also developed a product for the saline soil specific biofertilizer. So these are some glimpses of the results from these use of this biofertilizer, which is specific for saline soils. Now, as you all know, the recent problem and burning issue of the smoke. So we are also working for to biologically control the smoke issue, because you all know the major component of its production of smoke is due to the burning of rice residue. So we are also working for the biologically control the rice waste. Rice residue waste, and we have developed a consortium which is capable of biologically control and it is composed of the cellulolytic microorganisms which are biologically degrade the rice residues and convert them into the DAP, which is very much costly during this current period, and the farmer, they can't afford to use this costly fertilizer, chemical fertilizer. So we are providing the alternative to this chemical input into the biological form. So these are different research work. I'm not going to detail. One of our product is enriched by organic biofertilizer. We are using different compost-based materials for providing this biofertilizer for tunnel farming of vegetables. So we can say that these tiny creatures, these have a lot of potential, and we can explore and exploit their abilities and their activities. So this is our production unit. I will not go into the detail, and this is our group for production, and these are the activities at NIPG. And in this way, we can provide the safe, economical, and green solution of the production and protection problems of agriculture in NIPG. Thank you very much. If you have any question. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fatiha, for your insightful presentation and valuable contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Uzma Ali with a wealth of experience in pharmaceutical technology and biopharmacy. She is a standout professional in the gene delivery system and molecular biology. Join us for a session with Dr. Uzma Ali that will share the valuable insights from her impactful journey in academia and industry. Dr. Uzma Ali.
Which is very snowy, very grey, and very cold right now. So today I am very thrilled to talk about this very interesting topic, which is development, dissemination, or awareness and adoption of automation technologies in developing as well as developed countries. When we think about automation, the first thing that comes in our mind are machines. Previously, the meaning of automation was the big unintelligent machines doing all the repetitive work in factories. But nowadays, the meaning of automation is entirely changed. These are the intelligent machines which are even landing the aircrafts, or which are diagnosing cancer, or which are trading stocks, you name it. So we are definitely entering into an entirely different era of automation. So these are the examples of some of the world's top economies which are leading the world in some cutting edge innovations, and majority of their technological revolution is related to digitalization of their systems, inclusion of robots in their workforce, streamlining productions and services. The driving reason is economic competition in terms of performance, in terms of capability, energy and material efficiency, and also synergy. Even within the advanced countries, the dissemination of these practices is very irregular and often controversial. And why is that? Take the example of, for example, artificial intelligence. A lot of people, they are still skeptical and they are unsure about artificial intelligence, although that is evolved at lightning speed. But still, what if thousands of human minds, their data is stored on one small chip or one barcode? One can think that who is then going to be the in charge? Who is then going to combat the negative effects or the evils of artificial intelligence? These are the valid questions, and a lot of debate is going on, but let's see what happens. So this is an overview of technological changes in different countries in the world, and the graph is showing, actually I forgot to label the graph, but it is showing the number of patents which are generated by each country per year. And as you can see, this is very interesting. As you can see, China is alone is generating more patents even than US, and it can catch up with US actually in coming years in the fields of robotics and AI. So the majority of the digitalization and robotization, as you can see, that happens in developed countries. And in developing countries, for example, they have tried to replicate Silicon Valley many times, but that was impossible because of the lack of resources and because their educational systems and the workforce that is very poorly equipped to absorb these kind of innovations from the rest of the world. So what the developing countries should do, actually they should adopt and adapt to innovations related to automation. They should also minimize its negative effects on competitiveness, unemployment and inequality, as well as they should also take advantage of its enormous potential. And obviously the modern sectors, they will benefit more and much faster. Also, the countries in transition. I really like this term because that shows the developing countries which are transitioning into developed countries. So that is quite a hopeful kind of, term. So the countries in transition are more likely to exploit the advantages and leapfrogging technologies, but they're also more vulnerable to their dangers. If in rich countries technological changes can be increasingly disruptive, it can be catastrophic in emerging countries, and that would not be more truer because in developing countries, for example in Pakistan, we have mobile phones. Our young generation, all of them have mobile phones, and the world that is literally shrunk, that is a small place now on our mobile screens. And because of that, we have a lot of information, but at the same time, we have a lot of unhealthy competition. We have a lot of awareness of social inequality, and thus we have a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety, and which can obviously lead to some catastrophic kind of consequences. So these are also kind of some negative effects which are always connected to every innovation. So there are two schools of thoughts regarding the future scenarios of accelerating automation technologies. One are positive thinkers and others are negative thinkers, but both of them, they think logically or rationally. The optimists, they say that despite all the threats and fears, These automation technologies are going to contribute into social well-being, and there is going to be less famine, poverty, disease, ignorance, environmental collapse, and even war. There are going to be a lot more jobs, as well as there are going to be increased goods and services. And we can kind of agree with them, because we have seen accuracy-based medical devices. We have seen genetically engineered food. We have seen navigation systems, and all of these things, they are actually increasing social well-being of human race. On the other hand, the pessimists, they say that there is going to be definitely ignorance, lack of information. There is definitely going to be lack of control, and that is going to affect the true potential of the automation systems. There are going to be out of control socio-economic dynamics. There are going to be vicious cycles which can turn into more permanent scenarios. And most importantly, which I feel very strongly about also, that there is going to be concentration of wealth and power in a fewer hands, which is going to create a lot of catastrophic scenarios. There are going to be a lot of people who are economically compromised. So both of these scenarios, whether positive or negative, they are going to affect eventually both the developing and developed countries, but at what rates, when, how. The data about all of these things is limited, but we know that both the positive and negative effects, they are definitely an outcome of the automation technologies in the future. So this is very interesting prediction of a potential boost to regional GDP because of AI by the year 2030. And as you can see, the top of the list is China with a GDP of $7 trillion because of artificial intelligence, which is quite amazing. The rest of the world, that is only at $1.2 trillion as compared to China. So one of the burning questions with all of these automation technological advances is, what is going to happen to employment? Are the robots or computers, they are going to snatch your jobs? Sadly, the statistics say that it is true. So a very interesting study shows the data about the unemployment because of automation, and they say that in next 20 to 30 years, almost half of the jobs in developed countries will be replaced by computers and robots. For example, marketing, transportation, logistics, production, office administration, general services, low education and technical jobs, etc. Although they do not show a lot of data about developing world, but they say that the automation technologies will not be adopted by developing world in the near future, because the labor is already so cheap, and the owners or upper management, they are not going to buy automation technologies, but they will definitely turn towards automation in distant future, and especially when the costs of automation technology will drop, and then there is going to be certainly a lot of displacement of jobs exponentially and in every sector almost, and that can be very disruptive definitely, and that can be very catastrophic. And as you can see in this graph, that the red dots, they are showing the lower incomes, the yellow dots, they are showing middle income, and green dots, they are showing the upper income. The loss of job in upper income sector, that is only from 5 to 15%, whereas that is quite high in lower income and middle income employment regions. So that means that the upper income sector would be least affected by automation or robotization. So these are the regions which will be the most affected by automation, and as you can see, the population in China will be the most affected population by the year 2030. Almost 236 million people in China will be jobless or replaced by robots and automation technology. India is on number 2. There 120 million people. They will be replaced by robots, and that also shows that China is so far in technological advances, and that is so rapidly going towards automation technologies. That is even surpassing United States, which is on the third number, where 73 million people will be displaced from their jobs and so on. So what is the need of the hour? What should we do to face or to compensate all the challenges imposed by automation technology? First of all, obviously, we should improve our education system. We should empower them, and there should be radical changes in the academic curriculum. There should be increase in labor productivity, and there should be also ways to attract private investments for entrepreneurship. There should also be cheap or free internet. That can be the first step, actually. There should be a political leadership that is scientifically informed and scientific leadership that is politically savvy. There should be a seamless integration of technology and society for a sustainable future. I wish all of you a very safe future and health and success. Thank you.
With putting up a thanking regard to Dr. Uzma Ali, let us please warmly welcome to have the honorable presence of Ms. Zahida Maqbool, the Additional Registrar of the University of Faisalabad. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Adnan Khan, Assistant Professor of Optometry at Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Medical University, Pakistan. His impactful research, generously supported by institutions like Autism Research Institute and Qatar National Research Fund, has earned him the prestigious Paul Dudley White International Scholar Award from the American Heart Association. Let's warmly welcome Dr. Adnan Khan to the stage to share his invaluable sights with us today. So please, may I have your presence here?
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, all. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers and especially Dr. Maimuna Arshad. She has been following me for a long time to come for a lecture. But I would like to share another thanks that he might doesn't know that, but I would like to thank Professor Aslam as well. I just remember when he was in Peshawar back, I believe, in 26, 27, just to say farewell to Professor Dr. Daud Khan, and I was sitting in the back chairs and he was delivering a speech to tribute Professor Daud. And he said, with the Pathan study, he became the profile for the country. So I was sitting there thinking, oh, Professor Daud is going to retire, so we need to bring somebody else to make them proud to our country. Okay, thanks, Professor Aslam. Today, the topic that has been given to me is the general topic, framing the future, the intersection of optometry and STEAM innovation in vision sciences. So the outline of my talk today is definition of optometry, innovation in eye care. I'm going to talk especially about optical coherence tomography and its uses in ophthalmic and neurodegenerative diseases, and then presented with the personal medicine case of Bardet-Biedl syndrome and stroke, and then retinal matrix as surrogate markers for cerebrovascular disease. So, the definition of optometry. According to World Council of Optometry, optometry is a healthcare profession that is autonomous, that's autonomous, educated, and well-regulated. And optometrists are the primary healthcare profession. They care about eye and visual systems, and they are providing primary comprehensive care to the eye diseases and the visual rehabilitation of the conditions. So here is the short anatomy of the visual pathway and the eye. So here we see the light coming to the first part of the cornea, going to the lens, and going to vitreous. Here is the retina. This consists of 10 layers. Okay, the image is formed over here in the macula, and some of the axons of the ganglion cells are going to live as an optic nerve. Okay, so it's going to be from here, it make the eye visual pathway and going back to the visual cortex. So all the information coming from here, going back to there, and going to brain is going to read it. So any problem in this pathway going to be optical, where the image is not going to be formed correctly, or there's a defect in it, or there is a problem in the visual pathways, so going to create the visual problems. And here is the picture of the fundus. That's real fundus photo as a macula and the fovea and the optic nerve. So I wanted to test your interest in Pakistani's dramas, okay? So we are going to, if you remember, and having the scene in the 90s and then back another serial. Anybody knows inequality in drama? Okay, that's excellent. So we have got over here this drama where we have the characters. Where's the Bill Batori, okay, Hamoon Jadugar, Charlie Chaplin, now this guy and the innocent kids or the human. So I'm not going to make an analogy. Pardon me, I'm not going to be offensive, okay? Okay, so in the drama, this Ben Batori was very evil. She was always creating problems for the humans, but over here, this guy, Amun, he was always helping her in her plans. So these two guys were going to save the humanity. The lead character was Nasturjin, and his brother, friends, another Jin, got a Zakuta. He was always over there to help him to save the humanity and to solve the problems. And in the meanwhile, we had a Charlie Mamu. I'm going to be with me, going to tell you later on what kind of problem this Charlie Mamu has created for us. He has like common Pakistanis, and like his lifestyle diseases has brought a lot of more problem than even these guys. And these were the innocent human beings. So, going back a little bit to the history, where the optics started and where the glasses started. So, in the ancient optic history, there was even more sophisticated populations where they were using the spectacles. Sorry. So they were using these spectacles, but they were just only using for prevention, not for the vision corrections. But it was our forefather of optics. He's back in 900s era. It's like thought of, he was optical scientist, like today the theme is the steam. So he knew all the stuff of the steam. So that was the time the people were making great inventions. So he thought of like smooth glasses to correct the visual impairment. And it was back the only 1286 when the first glasses for the correction of refractions were created in Italy. And the time goes on, and we're going to come up with the glasses, with the contact lenses, and it's keep going on. That, because famously, as I said, Thomas Edison said, there is a way better to do it than find it. So we are going through that. And now we have innovations in eye care. In eye care, today we have got my sight. I was looking at it, the pandemic created, but the short-sightedness is that it's like huge, in especially East Asia point of view, and create a lot of problems regarding visual impairments. And we come up with the wireless theranostic lenses that I just studied, like in Nature. They come up today, this year. They are going to control. They are going to control the intraocular pressures, and at the same time, they are going to deliver the drug as the IOP increase or decrease. So, and exciting time for medicine. It's a module lens. We have got another, so there is a revolution in the STEM, and they are going to help us. Having high resolutions and high ultra low latency radio and eye tracker with eye controller, and having a lot of other benefits. And it is said for the company that it will replace most of the smart watches and smartphones even. Going forward, innovations in eye care continued. We now have got like refractive surgery for the correction of optical defects. We have got portable devices, autorefractors, fundus camera. So we just can carry these cameras to any remote areas and going to work out ophthalmological diseases. And we come up, as discussed by Dr. Uzma as well, we have got artificial intelligence. Now the things are going to change. Most of the things are being replaced by the artificial intelligence, thanks to it. But and there are low vision devices which are going to help the rehabilitations. That the Seeing AI Microsoft app where they're going to read the barcodes, and they're going to tell to the blind people or the low vision patients about they are going to tell them, so they're going to hear it. So we got the augmented reality low vision spectacles. They're going to increase the contrast for the low vision patients, and so on, going on. These STEM innovations are going to help us in every field. It's going to help us in education, in optometry. We are going to have the simulated cases that we are going to learn our optometric skills, and at the same time, going to improve our vision as well. And it goes to the teleoptometry visual therapy. Here it is me when I went to 2011 and completed my PhD in optometry and visual sciences in Queensland University of Technology. So we built up the flicker photometer to study the lens yellowing. So we are going to work out with the STEM, like to make the things and to get the benefits from them, and then to study the optics of the eyes. And here is the phaco photometer. The phaco photometer is going to use to study the lens topology, lens dimensions. And here was the adaptive optics that we built to study the visual performance with correcting the monochromatic aberrations. So all of these technologies are going to help us, but there is only one technology that has helped for last 3 decades, almost going to be tremendously ophthalmology and even beyond the optometry and ophthalmology, and that is optical coherence tomography. Who thinks of this optical cohemographs? It's the people from the STEM. They are in 1887. The technique is based on interferometry. And it was taught by Albert Michelson and Edward Morey. But for the tissue purpose, it's to scan the tissue, take the images. It come up in 1971. Okay, so first OCT inside the retina was performed in 1991, and then it's in vivo. It was first picture it was taken in 1993, and it's keep on going. And now we have OCT angiographies. So how it works? In a simple way, it's going to have the light reflected from when the light is going to reflect to the retina and then going to come back. Okay, so this reflectivity in the tissue density and the delay of return, the flight delay, is going to give us in the form of OCT image. So basically, it's similar when you are going to have the ultrasounds and you are going to the sounds going to come back and going to get the image. In this case, there is the light that's going to come back and form the image. And these are the different colors, how to interpret the OCT and different structure in it. I would like to go to see its application in eye, particularly in retina, posterior fundus, and beyond, including the visual pathways. So here is the eye. The stimulus is going to come and it's going to strike the macula, fovea, and light is going to go back to the brain, to the visual cortex. Okay, so the disease that we are going to study with it has a lot of other benefits as well, but going to study like glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, retinitis pigmentosa, and the disease which are indirectly affecting our visions are Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, ALS. And there are some of the diseases that we come off and we are not responsible for them is the genetic disorder. But there is the disease which is called stroke. Stroke is lifestyle. The factors which are most responsible are the lifestyle factors. That's a Charlie Mamu. Okay, so OCT is going to help us in identifying macular edema, holes, age-related macular degenerations. It's going to have diabetic retinopathy, so we can see the subretinitis fluid over here in the retina. It's going to help us in detecting glaucoma. We are going to see the optic nerve changes. Optic nerve changes in the optic nerves. These are the reds are the optical defects, and the green are the normal. So here we're going to talk about personalized medicine, how the STEM, the innovations, today's innovations, going to come and help us in identifying the visual problems, and then we are going to go for its treatment with biotechnologies, with the pharmacist to sort out. So this is the world, this time of personalized medicines. So every individual have different requirements now. So going to talk about the Bardet-Biedl syndrome. So I got a patient. It was specifically referred for me for small fiber neuropathies to identify diabetic neuropathy. And it was undiagnosed 31 years old male, and he was having kidney problems, proteinuria, and he has a vision problem, but it was not set at the time. And then when I started asking him, so he was almost blind. He was blind basically, with only perceptions left. And then I asked about the history, So he has got a sister also 33 years old. He was the same obese with impaired vision at very young age. So what we done with the help of some of our friend, Professor Kirsten, is back in Germany. So we were not having funds, so we were going to ask, like, if we could, you can help us with the analysis, whole DNA sequence analysis. So he did the analysis, and we come up that the patient has C8 or F37 homogeneous variant. And in this case, there is a visual impairments, there's the kidney problems, polydactyl, problems in the brain cognitively, and these are the major problems. So we found one of so we brought his healthy brother. He has normal OCT, and the proband, the patients, this was the OCT for him, so it has the visual defect, neurofiber defects. It's the same over here in the left eye, and we were having this is the right eye for the sister with the having defects, and for the left eye. So OCT, how it's going to help OCT, the stamp in stroke. So coming to know about the stroke. Stroke is a huge problem now. So with all the vascular risk factors, the hypertension, the dementia, that leads to stroke, and it causes neurological defects when the blood supply to the brain is obstructed. So, and usually in optometry, the people come to know with the stroke, they are having central lateral artery occlusions. Okay, so they come to know in their acute stages, they have got the blurriness of the vision. So we are very important people. We are going to identify them, and we are going to refer or doing furthermore investigations. So this, and it causes the hemonopia, the visual field defects, the eye movement disorders, the skew deviations, the diplopia, and cognition problems. So what we need to do, we need to, because the stroke is the first acquired disability problem, most common one, and it is the second leading cause of death. So we are going to prevent the stroke as well, and when it's happening, we are going to discover the therapies and treatment, and also if there is a disability left over, we are going to rehabilitate them. So we are going to prevent the stroke. We need to prevent the recurrent stroke, which is very common in stroke. About like within 5 years, at least like 13% of the people get again the stroke. So our responsibilities are going on. So we have found like retinal nerve defects are present in patient with stroke, whether they are related with the brain, with the changes in the brain, the white matter hypertension. So the study has been conducted, and it shows that it's correlate with the Faisalabad scores, which is related with the white matter hyperintensities. So keep on going. These retinal fiber defects has been found in the stroke, that whether it tells us about the survival after another stroke, yes. If we follow the patients for long time, for approximately 2 years, and we found that the patients with the retinal narrow fiber defects has more chances of getting another scores as compared to without narrow fiber defects. So we are going to do the translational research, and it has been published in New England Medical Journal. So translating medicine from the lab to the clinics is like crossing the valley of death, because most of our study failed. And because what's the reason behind that? We do not have very good endpoints, biomarkers. So, but we continued. In stroke, So there is a stroke of large vessel occlusion which is responsible for most of the disability, and when it's responsible for disabilities, so it's also for vision as well, and which is mostly it's unreversible. So in large vessel stroke there is occlusion of the vessels. Okay, so one side, if the one side occlusion occurs, so in some of the cases, the other side of the vessels cover that occlusions and they supply the blood. So in this case, for example, this case, here is the occlusion in the brain, in the vessels, and it's not covered by the other side. But in this case, the occlusion occurs, but it has been covered by the other side. So this one is called poor collaterals, and this one is called the good collateral because it has been covered, and this one is the poor collateral because it has not been covered, so it causes a lot of disability, including visual disability. So we need to find before the stroke occur in a person. So the one way is like to prevent the stroke, and another is to recognize the strokes early so that we stop the patients to going to greater disability. And so the time is the most important, the window. The lesser is the time, get into the sophisticated hospitals, then and do the thrombectomy at the time, so we are going to prevent. So here is it. So a study was done in the mice, and it shows that the retinal vessels can predict us about the pial collaterals. So me and with my team, we decided to conduct a translational study. So because the retinal vessels, okay, we're going to do that with the optical angiography, optical coherence tomography for the vessels and to predict the collaterals. So we recruited 21 control patients and the 35 ischemic control patients. And we were going to look at the vessel geometry. Now we came to the vessels, whether the vessels tell us about these cerebral vessels. And we measured these parameters: capacity dimension, information, correlation dimension, consistency, and singularity, and Fmax for these vessels. So we came up with the people with the stroke have more disabilities. The poor collateral patient, where it was not covered by the vessels, it has more disability than the good collaterals one. And so we found the atriovenous ratio in the control was lower than was lower in the stroke patients as compared to the control one. And similarly, it was the central retinal vein equivalent was higher in the stroke patients compared to the control. But the most important finding for us was the fractal dimensions. The complexity of the retinal vessels was more in poor collateral patients as compared to good collateral patients. So there were differences between poor and good control patients. So we performed machine learning. Again, we need Zakuta every time. Okay, we brought STEAM people and going to do principal component analysis, and whether we can differentiate people with bad collaterals or good collaterals. What the analysis, this pilot study shows that 75% of this fair separation can be achieved. So it was taking a risk, but it's family said by Muhammad Ali, the greatest. He who is not courageous enough to take risk will accomplish nothing in life. So we need to take risk. We need to work together with others and going to accomplish. So the conclusion for the talk is the integration of the STEM discipline can shape a comprehensive approach to our eye care. And innovations drive precision and personalized treatment, which ultimately leads to output improvements in patients. And emerging technology help us in education and treatment and diagnosis of the patients. And the broader advancement impact public health, and it's ultimately going to change our societies. And the collaboration between optometry and STEM paves the way for transformative research. Thank you so much. Any question, please? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khan, for your groundbreaking research and insights. They have left a lasting impression. Now, I would like to call Dr. Adnan Khan Niazi from the University of Agriculture, the Center of Agricultural Biochemistry and Biotechnology, to please chair the session of biotechnology. So please. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I would like to introduce Mr. Ubaidullah Jan. Mr. Ubaidullah Jan is not only the head of the Department of Optometry and Vision Sciences at Superior University Lahore, but also a seasoned optometrist with 14 years of expertise. His remarkable journey includes being a licensed and registered optometrist with the Health Authority of Abu Dhabi, UAE since 2013. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ubaidullah Jan to the stage. Let's eagerly anticipate the valuable remarks he will share with us. Mr. Ubaidullah Jan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A very good morning to all of you, and I'm very grateful to share the stage with the best brains of Pakistan, especially my teacher and my mentor, Professor Asad Aslam Khan Sahab. जैसे कि सर ने शुरुआत में ही बात की कि पाकिस्तान में ऑप्टोमेट्री शुरू हुई तो किंग एडवर्ड मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी और खैबर मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी दोनों में एट अ टाइम शुरू हुई और आई एम दी वन ऑफ द पायनियर स्टूडेंट of the King Edward Medical University College of Ophthalmology and Allied Vision Sciences, and the pioneer graduate in Pakistan alongside Dr. Adnan from the Khyber Medical University. So, so today the topic of my talk is steam infusion in the optometric practice. So optometry is basically very new to Pakistan. Its age is still about a decade and a half in Pakistan. So still we are not at the level where the world is. Like in developed countries, the optometrist to population ratio is 1 optometrist for 10,000 population. But unfortunately in Pakistan, this ratio is very huge. Like currently, according to a survey which is not yet published, the optometrist to population ratio is 1 optometrist for 1 million people in Pakistan. So 1 million people, one person cannot handle this huge amount of population. And in the consequence, the disease burden is getting larger and larger and larger with the passage of time. Even as Dr. Asad mentioned that the cataract prevalence rate is very encouragingly less now, but the problems are still there. In the primary care optometry, in the primary optometry and ophthalmology, and in the system, because we are having a lot of problems. Even though we have a lot of resources, but we have still a lot of problems. So when we talk about problems, we must know about the solutions. Because talking about problems is very easy, but giving solutions is something very important. So STEAM is basically a concept which include all the technologies, the scientists, and especially the mathematicians and arts people to get it colored or to get something new. It's basically beyond the traditional practices in optometry, not only in Pakistan, but also worldwide. And it's basically a futuristic approach. When you are thinking something about the future, you must think about some innovations. Because by the research, you can get something new. And when you have innovations, then you can commercialize it. And when there is a commercialization, the impact is very huge for the society, for the government, for the people, and for the practitioners as well. So when we talk about STEAM, there are multiple challenges and there are multiple opportunities. So about the challenge number one, that is the rapid technology advancement. When the technology is advancing rapidly, certainly, as Dr. Faiza in the second last presentation explained, that many people will lose their jobs. जैसे कि अल्लामा इकबाल ने भी फरमाया था कि है दिल के लिए मौत मशीनों की हुकूमत. But in a positive way, if we think about positivity, creativity, innovation, we can learn a lot of things from machines. Like my presentation today, I have taken help from the AI. Like all these images, some data I gather here is from the AI. I know all these things, but the AI knows better. So how can we induce artificial intelligence in optometry? How can we induce or infuse mathematics in optometry? How can we collide the arts in optometry? Like, for example, the history taking. History taking is not scientific thing. It's basically arts. If you are in hurry, you're not listening to your patients, they will not get satisfied. If you're giving them the best treatments, still there is no benefit. Like in my personal practice in Lahore for last 14 years, I know many of the best ophthalmologists, best professors. They see patients, but unfortunately the patients returns to me or many other practitioners to explain what is basically happening around. And when we give them time, we listen them, and we just explain whatever that professor or that ophthalmologist has done so far about the medication or about the surgical plan, they get satisfied. So it's only the time you can invest in the patient's care, and it's only the arts and humanities. If you have a good heart, you listen by heart, not by only by ears, then the STEAM can be infused in the optometric practices. So like this, in this images, you can see that there are new diagnostic tools. They're like Dr. Adnan has already mentioned, that 3D OCTs, then AI-powered refractometers, refractions. So if there are AI-powered refractions and refractometers, what is your role then? You can simply be replaced by the machines, but if you are creative, you are innovative, you have mind full of emotions, and you have mind which is ready to learn, the door of learning is open, then the machines cannot replace you. So feel the difference here, right? Starting from the Snellen's chart, then moving to the logmar, then moving to the another version of logmar, and then in 95% of the Pakistani practices, in ophthalmology practice and also in optometry practice, we still are using this hit and trial method or with the trial frame refraction. But in the bottom of the slides, you can see the advanced technologies, the AI-powered refractometers. Then you can see at the bottom that the optometrist is performing refractions while he is also talking to the patient, explaining her about the condition and how he can help in this regard. So it's basically a combination of all the science, the technology, the engineering, the arts, and the optometry. Challenge number 2 is basically resource management. When you are investing in new technologies, obviously you need money. And in Pakistan, all of you know that there are a lot of resources, but the resources are mismanaged. And due to this mismanagement by the government, by the society, and even by ourselves, we cannot invest more in the technology. So resource management is also very important, and balancing in the resource management is very important. Optimizing the workflow and embracing efficiency is very essential, very, very essential. Like if you are working for 200 population in a society, with the help of technology, with the help of advancement, you can at the same time serve more than 1,000 people with better decision making, with better diagnosis, with better treatment plans. Challenge number 3 is communication. Like personally, I'm from KP, my mother tongue is Pashto, but for last 14 to 18 years I'm here in Lahore, so I can speak Punjabi, I can speak Saraiki, I can understand all the regional languages, Potohari. So that is, if you invest in your self, in results, this investment will benefit the population or the patients. So translating the language, the medical terminologies into simple words, into simple or layman language, that is also an art. And I suggest you all to learn this art. So challenge number 4 is collaboration. As many of us know that no one can win the race alone. If you are on the racetrack and you are alone, you cannot win the race. You must have some people with you. You must need a team. And I must acknowledge some of my teachers that always, they say that if you have competitors, you excel more. And if you are alone, you cannot do anything. And it's your mind. If you decide that you want to do something and you struggle for it continuously, you can do it. If you decide that I cannot do anything, you're right, you cannot do anything. So it depends on your brain. So when we talk about challenges, there are multiple opportunities as well. So opportunity number 1 is personalized care. With the infusion of STEAM, we can more get into the technology, and then we can get more good results. Like if we add the arts of taking history with a better way, with empathy, not sympathy, then we can get more good results. Then the data analysis algorithm, we add these things, we add the technology, and we diagnose more diseases that cannot be diagnosed with a naked eye. So we can even develop personalized care treatment plans for different patients. Like a person who is working in a factory has different needs and different demands than a person who is working in a university environment. So everyone has different needs and demands. So we can even get personalized care by the personalized care mindset. So you can see at the bottom, this is basically technology, the artificial intelligence. The world is already using all these technologies, but still we are lacking in it. So you people, the young generation, you can do it. And it's not very costly, it's now very cheap. If you just struggle for it, you search for it, you can get it. All these things are available online as well. So opportunity number 2 is basically the interactive education. At the bottom of the slide, you can see some of the pictures I recently taken from my mobile while assessing my students of the first semester of optometry. You can see we do project-based learning and problem-based learning, case studies in different stages of the semesters. So you can see the first semester students, they drawing is basically what? Arts. Okay? Then there is mathematics, they calculated. You can see the eye, the eyeball. Then you can see the reduced eye, the schematic eye. Then there are multiple, you can see multiple things, optical devices. And in the middle of the picture, you can see a toy. Basically, in the right eye of the toy, there is an infection, and they just visualized it to understand what an infection is, basically. So this is basically infusion of STEAM in the optometry education in our university at Superior University. So opportunity number 3 is innovation. As I earlier stated, that innovation is the key to success. If you are doing something which is already done, if you do that for 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 times, no benefit. But if you are doing something which is already done, but you are innovating something. For example, yesterday I was present in the topic defense of our 7th semester students for research scores. There are 3 students who presented their project. And the project was recycling the plastic material, and from the recycled plastic material, making an iframe which is capable enough of good color, lightweight, then inclusion of the technology in that frame with the LED light. If there is a low vision patient, he or she needs more light for reading, so that light directly focused on the reading material. Then there is a chip inside that glasses, that if someone is a low vision patient and he or she cannot see his or her glasses where it is, then the GPS can track it that the glasses is there. Then there's one thing more. There's a beeper inside in that glasses, that when you try to find the glasses, it will beep. So if the person is unable to see, he can hear. So this is basically innovation. And luckily we have an office there in the university that is called ID92. They project these such kind of ideas, and they commercialize it with a huge interest rate, and they are giving shares to the students. and we are producing patents as well. So this is possible everywhere. This is nothing like you can do anything you want if you are committed, if you want to do something, if you want to bring some change. Like in Pakistan, many people, they said there is nothing, government is not doing something, all the country is going to be, vanished. But still, everything is going on. So there are people who thinks about Pakistan, like I was in UAE for 7 years, I came back to serve my nation, and I'm working here again. So many people, they are doing very good jobs, and the people sitting here, the young generation, I will advise to think about the country, think about the society, and think about the problems. And when you think about the problems, you must have solutions. So you can do whatever you want to do. So what is the need of time? Call for action. Embrace continuous education. If you stop learning, if you say that I am just finished my education and I'm done with it, then the machine will replace you. So continuous education is the key. Adopt interdisciplinary collaboration. Instead of competition, do collaboration. So with collaboration, we can make wonders. Then seek novel prospects, like, as I mentioned this earlier, that you can produce something from nothing, like trash, like plastic. It's destroying our whole scenario. So we can make it a sustainable projects from nothing, from the trash, and we can make it valuable. So basically, STEAM is reshaping the future of optometry. It specifically talk about optometry, and we can build more and more with the concept of STEAM. Thank you so much. If there is any question, I am here to bring. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baidullah Jan. Now, may I please have an alternative plan of some backward plan? May I please call Madam Zahida Maqbool, the Additional Registrar of the University of Faisalabad, to please be on the stage for a little alteration in the plan to avoid the shields to the gates. Professor Dr. Amanullah Malik is requested to please join. Dr. Shahid Madhira Sahab, Dr. Majid Hussain. Sir, please. Madam Dr. Amna Javed. Dr. Shaista Shafiq. Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg is please requested to receive the shield. To Chairman, Pakistan Science Foundation. Dr. Shahid Mahmood Beg. Professor Dr. Asad Aslam Khan.
Thank you very much for
Thank you very much, everyone, distinguished guests, and the shield givers, please. Resuming the session, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Ghulam Mustafa, Associate Professor at the Center of Agricultural Biology and Biotechnology, University of Agriculture, Faisalabad. His extensive knowledge in this field promises to offer valuable insights, and we eagerly anticipate his presentation. Without further ado, let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Ghulam Mustafa. Sir, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Actually, there is a blend of presentations, mostly dominated by the optometry. So, I am basically a plant biotechnologist. So, again, a graduate from the NIPG. Wherever is biotechnology in Pakistan, I think there would be, in a way or other, some contribution by the NIPG. So, अच्छा लाइट्स ऑफ करेंगे. So I am just to talk about the transgenic crops, what are recent trends and future challenges. Actually, my area of research is genetic transformation of plants. So this story started in 1977. It's not too much old science. People started to work out plant transformation for different traits. What the logic behind is, when we talk about development of the plants of desire, and if we want to introduce some gene from some bacteria, from fungi or some other source, the conventional method is just to cross. But through genetic engineering, you can introduce any sort of trait, any sort of character into any crop or plant species. The area of plant transformation started in 1980s, and now in 2023, more than 190 million hectares of the cropland all over the world is under transgenic crops. But again, as all of the presenters, one thing common, that was planning in our country, priorities in our country, funding and all others. We are working, we are offering degrees, we have very good structures, very good facilities, but still we are not clear that what our plan is. The same story is with this field, transgenic crops. All over the world, I told, more than 190 million hectares area is under these crops. But still in our country we are not clear whether we are going to adopt this technology or not. Still, there are so many ambiguities. So many universities, so many research institutes, they are conducting research, they are developing materials, but at the end, even a researcher may come to know that whatever you have developed, it's not logically or by law it's not allowed to commercialize. So this is a common thing that we the educated people, we should plan out, or at least we should highlight that whatever we are doing, at least there should be some solid planning that whether we are going to get some benefit from that or not. So anyway, as far as the science is concerned, we are not far much behind any other country in any of the aspect. We have very good human resource, as even in the optometry or whatever the field we talk about, we are nowhere behind any other country in the world. So just to introduce the students, when we talk about plant transformation, it means when we plan to introduce some gene into a plant. So within a human cell, there are two organelles that have genetic material. Number one is nucleus and other is mitochondria. But in plants, there are three organelles that have genetic material. It's nucleus, mitochondria and chloroplast or plastids. So if we think to introduce any gene into a cell, so definitely we have to target the already existing gene. So it may be a nuclear genome, it may be a mitochondrial genome, or it may be the plastid genome that can be targeted to introduce any foreign gene. And definitely the fundamental reason is that there should be some basic transcriptional translational machinery that can tackle any of the DNA to produce the desired protein. So to engineer the plant genome, we can target these three organelles. And when we talk about the animals, as a lot of work is being done on particularly the model mouse or some other animals, and in that case your target could be the nuclear genome or the mitochondrial genome. So when we talk about that, once we developed some transgenic material and particularly some plant, then there is a huge voice against its commercialization. Particularly the European countries, they are selling their technology, but at the same time they are talking about that you should not use the GMOs. So what actually the basic thing which is reason of that much criticism, that is the use of antibiotic resistant genes. Whenever we develop a transgenic plant, the basic process is that definitely whatever the tissue you target, that is having millions of cells. So when you target a gene into the cell, then how you are going to select that 1, 2, 3 or 4 cells among the millions of cells, that these 2, 3 cells they are transformed. For that purpose a selectable marker gene is used, and for most of the transformation events, mostly antibiotic resistance genes they are used. And what the criticism is that you are introducing an antibiotic resistant gene in your plants, and when a human being will consume those plant material with antibiotic resistance genes, so there are chances that you will develop resistance against those antibiotics. So the reason might be, but people don't know that any of the gene or product in a plant, how would that gene be transferred into the humans? It's never possible. And other thing is that whatever the GM product is, we are using it after frying, we are using it after baking. So all of you know that wherever is a protein, it can't survive the baking conditions. So it's mere a criticism, what I would say. But anyway, people have developed alternatives. So no doubt there is criticism that if you would develop the GMOs, there would be criticism that you shouldn't use it. So what the alternative is, that as I talked about antibiotic resistance gene, when we talk about antibiotic resistance, it's a pretty much hot subject. So what the alternatives even we have worked in our lab is that we have found homologs of antibiotic resistance genes in plants, even in edible plants. Mean the plants that we are already using, they naturally have antibiotic resistance genes. So if a human being is consuming these plants since decades, and those plants have antibiotic resistance genes, so if we take those genes from the plants instead of bacteria, so they shouldn't have to face any sort of criticism. So what we did in our lab, we found some antibiotic resistant genes in the plants, and we tried to use those genes for the transformation of plants. So definitely when these genes would be used, then there would be no criticism. And other thing what we talk about is the source of gene. Actually, whatever the gene is used to transform a plant, or whatever the gene is introduced into the plant, its source. Sometimes, like you might have heard about the BT gene. In our country, cotton crop, that is mostly BT crop. So that BT gene is from a bacterium. Here also people talk about that if you introduce a bacterial gene into an edible plant, and that bacterium gene would be transferred into the humans. Again, definitely there are no chances of the transfer. But to address the criticism, what we proposed, we worked out as endogenous plant genes. The concept is that you don't go for the bacterial genes or don't go for the fungal genes for the genetic transformation of your plants. Just work out the genes which are already present in the plants. We name them as endogenous genes. So we in our lab even have worked out some endogenous genes and worked out their expression in the plants. Means if your source of gene again is its plants, and nobody can deny any sort of problem with the plants, because we are consuming those plants in decades. So if you harvest, you isolate some genes which are already present in the plants and use those genes to engineer some valuable traits into your plants, so that would be more desirable. Like we worked out some genes for abiotic stress tolerance and even some genes for biotic stress tolerance. Like there was a gene there is a long list of the genes even people have worked out. You can see that so many genes have been isolated from the plants and if you use these genes, they won't be having any sort of criticism. Like here you can see for insect resistance, people have worked out genes from the cowpea, even from the petunia and from sugarcane. So if your source of gene is a petunia plant or it's cowpea plant or it's sugarcane, then there would be no sort of criticism. This is one of the genes we worked out for abiotic stress tolerance. Its name was SCDR, and it's already present in the sugarcane plants. And when we worked out that if we introduce this gene into other plants, then you can confer for abiotic stress tolerance. Abiotic stress mean your plants would be able to survive. Abiotic stressors mean salinity are the two more dominant abiotic stressors. Then we worked out another gene that was hello. This was the sugarmine gene. Again, it's in the plants. And we worked out that this gene can confer resistance against fungal pathogens. So if we develop the plants by introducing this gene from the plants, then there again would be no criticism. So whatever is the worth of technology, it's highlighting the worth of technology. You can see that Pakistan is also at 9th position in the world in the cultivation of GM crops. But our policy is still not clear that what we are going to accept and what we are going to reject. And all this, wherever the technology is, people would adopt, it would spread out in spite of resistance against that. But if there is some smooth way for the adoption of that technology, so that is the only way to get maximum out of that. And this is the intensity of the work all over the world, that almost each month any of the transformation event that is submitted on the website, whatever is at international level, mean the world is working aggressively on that, and more and more countries, they are allowing the adoption and commercialization of the GM crops. Mean here you can see wheat, corn, cowpea, maize, canola, cotton. They are all being adopted and accepted for the commercialization and for the use by the common human being. So this is how to get benefit of the technology. Even again, the transgenic technology, its advanced version now, you might have heard about the genome editing or CRISPR-Cas technology. So all over the world, it's pretty much hot subject because so many successes are addressed to be attained through the genome editing, particularly in humans. And whatever the gene therapy or other aspects were, they seem to be more addressed through the genome editing. And again, even all over the world, genome edited crops or genome edited animals, they are accepted with open hearts. But in our country still there is no legislation or no clear-cut voice that what we are going to do with it. There are so many projects, so much research that is initiated on the genome editing, but again we don't have any of the clear-cut voice that what we are going to do with it. So anyway, we can get benefit of the technology, we can do everything, but we should be clear and at least we should convey to the relevant persons. With all this, thank you very much. So if you have some question. Yes. CRISPR-Cas, yes, we have here.
That's great.
Yes.
So, yeah. So we have like in retina, we have like great success with it, with the congenital retinal disease, and we can do some work also. For example, just I presented as a Bardet Bardet syndrome.
Yes, definitely not me, but here are some friends which have even established cell lines.
Okay.
So whatever the concept you have, you can develop the construct and even test on those cell lines or whatever is your target protein or whatever you want to address. So system is there, people have facilities, they have expertise even.
Okay, that's
Yes.
great. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ghulam Mustafa. Now I would like to call Dr. Saira Salim, a distinguished oncoplastic breast surgeon who has graced us with her expertise at Medina Teaching Hospital since many years. We are really honored to have you among us, madam, and we look forward to the invaluable knowledge and compassionate care that she brings towards the medical community. Dr. Saira Salim.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I think most of you will be surprised why doctor as surgeon is here on this forum. Majority, I think this forum is mainly about the disciplines of engineering and technology and other art and Islamic studies, mathematics and other disciplines. But I will tell you how a surgeon uses art in this field. I would like to discuss about the modern development and advancement in the field of breast surgery, how we manage breast cancer in this era. So, management of breast cancer by surgical technique that is called oncoplastic breast surgery. It's a blend of art and science that I'm going to describe now. Surgery is indeed, you can say it is an artistic work, a very dedicated work is needed to perform, to get good outcome of the surgery, and along with this, a lot of scientific evidence is required to evolve in the field of surgery. So because I'm basically a breast surgeon, I'm doing my surgeries with a lot of measurements and graphics so as to get a very good cosmetic results of my surgeries. Because you know, being a female, self-image is very important. So previously what was done, if a patient was diagnosed with breast cancer, the only technique that surgeons were offering were to remove the breast. And how much mental, social trauma it was giving to the patient. It was taken as a sort of stigma to survive in this society. So to give the patient a feeling of wholeness and to bring her out of this psychological distress and trauma, evolution came in the field of breast surgery as well. So, like an artist creates a meaningful piece of art, a surgeon performs complex surgical procedures with the addition of scientific evidence. It's not a single-day story, a lot of creativity and vision is needed. A mutual and collective effort is needed as well that provide the enormous advancement in the science. Scientists are not dependent on the ideas of single person, you know very well, but on the combined wisdom of the thousands of people, thousands of scholars. This combined wisdom collectively accumulate and continuously enriched and refined over the years to produce a piece of art blended with science. Sorry, please move it forward. So, what's the modern management of breast cancer? Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer related death among women, not only worldwide. Previously, it was considered to be a disease of Western world. But now it is seen that even in our country, especially in Pakistan, breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer-related death. Breast cancer incidence is highest in the Asia among Pakistani women. Worldwide, 1.7 million women are affected by it. Out of it, 500,000 die. Surgical treatment is the main modality of breast cancer therapy that has become increasingly less mutilating, less damaging over the last century. Modern concept of breast cancer management is increasingly personalized. We can't say, previously, as I've told you, remove the breast of the patient if the patient is diagnosed with breast cancer. But now we see what is the age group of the patient, how much is the size of the breast, how much is the size of the tumor, what is the location of the tumor, if it is in the center, if it is in the outer side, where it is located, and we decide on the basis of personal and individual characteristics of the patient. We don't generalize one treatment, one operation for all the patients. Okay, next. So initially, what was done in the breast surgery, breast was removed, there are muscles under the breast, all the muscles were removed, and what was left? Only ribs and some intercostal muscles, and everything else, surgeons remove, it was routine to remove everything else. And instead of cancer, patient usually died from the complications of this moribund surgery. So then surgery evolved over the years, and ultimately came, now it's the era of oncoplastic breast surgery. Next. So this is what I was telling you. This was such a mutilating kind of surgery that was done a century ago, when everything was removed from the chest wall of the patient. Next. So until the 1970s, breast cancer was treated with radical mastectomy involving removal of the breast, axillary lymph nodes, all the muscles. This was extremely disfiguring, associated with morbidity and no survival benefit. So what next evolution came? Previous slide. In the 1970s, modified radical mastectomy was introduced, and surgeons then, it was found with the available evidence and research trials that if we leave muscles behind and just remove the breast, cancer is removed and patient survival is better and morbidity is less. So surgeons started leaving behind chest wall muscles. But even in that era, whole breast was removed. Then in 1980, a large randomized study conducted by the National Surgical Adjuvant Breast and Bowel Project demonstrated that breast conservation plus radiation had equivalent outcome to mastectomy. That we remove just the cancer, and in the remaining breast we give radiation, so the patient breast is saved and patient cancer is removed and patient survival improves. Recently, the emergence of surgical techniques named oncoplastics, referring to maintaining oncological principles and combining this with the plastic surgery. So that's how oncoplastic breast surgery evolved. Next. So oncoplastic surgery is a blend of art and science. Onco means cancer, that we don't just consider the cosmetic aspects, that we leave cancer behind, some part of the cancer, and just consider the cosmesis. Priority is on the oncology, the removal of cancer, and second comes the plastic surgical aspects or aesthesis of the patient. The goal is to combine the best possible cancer outcome with the best possible cosmetic outcome, individualizing for each woman and her wishes, ideally with the little to no scars. The goal is to help women feel whole again as part of her cancer journey. Next. So this is the atlas of breast cancer. According to tumor location and size of breast, we decide which technique we should use in our patient. Next. This again, a surgeon should know should have a very good knowledge of anatomy, about the blood supply, and about the muscles that are going there. Next. These are different techniques of flap. So if the patient breast size is small, what we do, we mobilize chest from fat that is lying outside the breast. We lift it on a small blood vessel. We rotate it and fit it inside the breast. Next. These are different techniques of flaps that we rotate from outside the breast and fit inside the breast. Next. Next. So what we are offering at Medina Teaching Hospital, we are trying to provide standard of care to our breast cancer patients. We ensure that all the patients receive timely treatment and care for from appropriately skilled professionals, that patient get adequate information and support. We try to monitor and adhere to standard clinical guidelines that are being practiced in the Western world, and effective use of our resources. Next. Actually, this is not a forum, I think, that I can explain and show you everything that we are using, that we usually show in our surgical conferences. Next. Just to show you that this is the pad of fat lying on the outer side and behind the breast, that I am lifting it on a small blood vessel using this magnifying loop. Our optometrists will be very well aware of that we use magnifying loop, and we dissect it and identify a small blood vessel that is supplying that pad of fat, and then we rotate it and fit inside the breast. Next. These are different techniques of flap dissection, and on that next picture, this flap is ready to fit in the breast. I was recently invited at Mayo Hospital and Jinnah Hospital to teach about this oncoplastic surgical skills to the surgeons there. You can see I am holding a measuring tape. A lot of measurements are involved in this, because we have to do matching with the contralateral normal breast. Either we reduce if the patient breast size is very big, we reduce the normal size breast size and make it equal to the opposite side, or we increase the size of the diseased breast. Next. So this is surgical workshop going on in the operation theatre. I am teaching the surgical trainees there. Next. So thank you very much. I'm very thankful to Madam Additional Registrar, Madam Zaida Makbool, Chairman BOG, Ms. Amna, for inviting me on this forum. Any questions? जी. Yes.
So, when you plan the calculator surgery,
Yeah.
then how do you make sure that whatever the cells you are lefting behind, they don't have the oncogenes?
Yes, actually we can't assess microscopically at that level. What is the rule and principle that we remove the tumor, along with the tumor 1 centimeter margin, healthy margin, all around. Where surgeon is holding the tumor in the hand and meanwhile feeling the normal tissues. Cancerous tissue is hard, normal fat is soft. Okay, 1 centimeter tissue is removed all around. Even then, there are chances that in the remaining breast there may be cancer foci, cancer cells. So for that, we, in all these patients in which breast is saved, we give radiation therapy to kill those microscopic foci. In no patient we just do surgery, we give radiation after the surgery as well, to reduce the chances of recurrence.
So, from nanomedicine point of view, so many materials they have developed even for the identification and eradication of cancer cells. So is that sort of technology or material is available in our country or not?
It's not currently in practice, but definitely if such things exist, this will be involved in the medical science as well. Because we are using artificial intelligence, a lot of biotechnology in our equipments, and definitely these things will be blended in the surgery.
Nanomedicine particularly,
Okay.
so many structures have been developed, even nanocapsules people have developed,
Okay.
that they target the particular receptors within the cancer cells, because those receptors are cancer specific. So those receptors help even the identification of each and every cell, and even then the eradication.
Okay, that's nice.
So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes. In our equipments, in our diagnostic equipments as well as treatment, it's a lot of biotechnology is used. I can't tell you detail.
Excuse me, as we are a developing country and the affordability is the main issue, so what is the cost of the surgery, and with the passage of time by introducing the artificial intelligence and many technologies, is the cost lesser now, or it's like increasing? So because the prevalence is too much, as you earlier mentioned.
Yes. Actually, in Medina Teaching Hospital, for the cancer patients, we are offering treatment free of cost, surgery and diagnostic facilities we are offering free of cost. But for the remaining treatment, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, patient is referred to a Allied hospital or some government setup, and at a cheaper rate they are provided that service as well.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I have studied somewhere that the incidence of this breast cancer is about 10% in males. Okay, so do you have some different strategies for male patients?
Actually, what I have read, it is 1% as compared to females, 1 to 99 ratio. But even 1% is not a small ratio. So, management of breast cancer in males, we use the same strategies. That first is we assess clinically, then we do radiological imaging investigations, then we take the piece for biopsy and confirm if it is malignant. But problem is that in males, it is more aggressive, because there is little breast tissue only, and there are more chances to spread and penetrate into underlying muscles. So we have to decide and treat very quickly in males. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Saira Salim. Now I would call upon Dr. Majid Aziz, Assistant Professor in Department of Pharmacy Practices, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences at Bahauddin Zikri University. Sir, please.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम बच्चों, honorable colleagues and member faculty of pharmacy, Medina University, the University of Faisalabad. My presentation is about the challenges and opportunities, its mitigations in the pharmacy profession. I will try my best, it should be the bilingual. Perhaps my English is not very well, but at this level, I will not only focus on this point. According to my opinion, or according to the literature, I have the focus that the Vision 2050 for pharmacy education. For this purpose, actually I have only focused on the pharmacy, but I have seen here many of my colleagues, they have different backgrounds. So pharmacy profession, even in the world or even in Pakistan, it's not very new. It's century back. In the 1860, pharmacy profession was initiated in School of Philadelphia to train the physicians, like the doctors, how they can dispense or how can they prepare the medicines to the patient. If we see the Pakistan, it's pre-partition. In 1938, the first school of pharmacy was established in Indo-Pak. But still in the world, the pharmacy profession is going to change, its paradigm is changed from drug development to the patient orientation. For this patient-oriented pharmacy, I have pointed out few points in this presentation. I think so it will be helpful for all of us academics and also our students to enhance the capability. Where is next? So my presentation has two major points. One is academic challenges to pharmacy profession, and second one is the professional challenges. So first, in the academic challenges, I will include the 8 challenges that in the pharmacy, that is the admission criteria to the pharmacy. I will discuss them one by one, and second is the curriculum and its development, and other one is the faculty constraint or faculty development program, and the training facilities for the patient care. And the next is the national level university. That should be the representative university, or that be the central point of the pharmacy education. And the 6th point I will suggest, and I will mention that we don't have any post-grade diploma program as many other professions or many health professions they have. And the combined training program, actually, as I mentioned before, that our pharmacy has a focus on the industry, and our pharmacy also has focus on the patient. So this combined program is not going to prioritize the specialized care pharmacy. Here I will suggest later that how we can individualize this program, how we can change. I call it my own Y-shaped model of the pharmacy. And centralized examination in the most of education system, or even in many countries, they have the centralized pharmacy education system, pharmacy examination system, how we can develop it more. So going more towards the pharmacy, every person knows that pharmacy in Pakistan, it's our O-level or 12th year of the proper schooling. But its induction at the pharmacy level, we don't have any centralized examination system like the MCAT. So pharmacy intake examination, PCAT, will strengthen more toward the Vision 2050 of the pharmacy. Actually, the revision or review to be curriculum, it was decided in our last developed curriculum in 2013, when we changed the B form to the form D. But at least after each 3 years, this should be changed. Almost it's more than 10 years. We didn't review it and we didn't change it. Pharmacy is going to change in the world. So patient need and patient care is not similar as it was before the COVID, as it was before the other epidemics. So with reference to epidemics, with reference to challenging health, with reference to the economy, everything is going to change. So we have to change the syllabus for our undergraduate students to meet the international challenges. If we see the division, most of our students, they are working in the pharmaceuticals marketing, in the sales or something, they are working in the regulatory affairs, management, administrations, but still we have the major focus on the drug development. So if we include some new syllabus, including the informatics, including the epidemiology, or some like to biochemistry or biotechnology, because in the world is more going toward the individualized therapy. Perhaps still we don't have enough medicine. In the future, I think so biotechnology or biochemistry or is this area of genetics will replace the chemical therapy to the patient. So informatics and the genetics, that should be the more prominent part in the drug development. We have the constraints in the faculty and its ratio to the students. It's not only in the Pakistan, it's a global issue. Even in the US, many institutes, they don't have that lot number as required by their ministries or their regulatory authorities. So in the future, if we want to produce a global leader in the pharmacy, that our So I have another request that it should be more short. So let me conclude and I move to next. So training facilities, this is the most important for the patient care. For our undergraduate students, we have only 2 structure programs. One is in Shaukat Khanam and other in Aga Khan. But in the future, if we want to see that our patients, our population will be more beneficial from pharmacists and their trainings and their work, so we have more structured training program for the patient care. This is actually a real dream in our country. I will not illustrate with reference to other countries. I will only present with reference to my own country. We have few national level universities like University of Health Sciences, University of Agriculture, and some other. Even we have the University of Education, but unluckily we don't have the National University of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Even if we see the China, they have the 2 universities. If we see the India, they already have the 1 university that is more near to us in the Chandigarh. So in these areas, if we develop a centralized university, pharmaceuticals education and pharmaceutical care will be increased for the patient. For the postgraduate diploma, the person who are engaged in their practical life, or they don't have enough facility or they don't have enough fund to continue their higher education, these postgrad diploma will help to strengthen their skills. Here is the combined training program already we have. If we change it to the Y-shaped model for the first 3 years, perhaps we have the focus on the basic training. In the next 2 years, we will divide it into the industrial and clinical pharmacy. We can increase the professionalism in our students. So examination system, I will skip it to the professional challenges. Limited career choices. Actually, our students, they don't perform the jobs rather than this industry or in the marketing or in the patient care or clinical pharmacy or through the hospitals. But regulatory affairs, specialized care pharmacy, like there are the few exams in the world for the BCPS and something else. So our student can grow well and they have the specialized care pharmacy. So due to the limitations of the time, I will not go more. If you have any more question, please. Thank you very much. No question, thank you.
Thank you so much for the valuable insights, Dr. Majid Aziz. Now I would call Dr. Abdul Qayyum Khan, who has done PhD from Hanover Medical School and is resuming his role as an assistant professor at University of Management Technology.
प्रेजेंटेशन जी मैं 5 मिनट से कर दूँगा अस्सलाम वालेकुम welcome everyone I know the time shortage so I won't take more than 5 minutes I would like to be as brief as possible today I'm going to talk about one approach in cell culture model which we use to study schizophrenia if you can open the presentation please. We understand that schizophrenia is most complex and enigmatic of all psychiatric disorders and we characterize this with the heterogeneous presence of positive, negative and cognitive symptoms. But the dilemma is we did not find any major lesions in the patient suffering from schizophrenia and epigenetics alone does not explain it. So we were more inclined towards role of epigenetics. Schizophrenia is aggregated in the families, but it is not segregating like in Mendelian's manner. There is no one-to-one ratio. Apart from that, environmental factors play an important role, like urban upbringing, migration, childhood traumas. So we were more into epigenetics, in which DNA methylation, which is thought to suppress the gene expression, and cannabis abuse, which is related to developmental schizophrenia. We formed our hypothesis on the basis that there is loss of synapses, 30% in normal people, but in schizophrenic patients, this loss is even higher, which is 60%. So we formed our hypothesis that the genes involved in synaptogenesis and neurogenesis are less expressed. I will talk about synaptophysin very shortly because it is a synaptic vesicle protein and it is involved in structural function. We did methylation analysis for this gene and we checked if this methylation has effect on mRNA, like the expression of the genes. First study has been published, so I will not talk about it. It was in vivo study. In vitro, we used different cannabinoids and checked their effect in cell culture model. First of all, we have used undifferentiated neuroblastoma cells and differentiated them into the neuronal-like cells with retinoic acid. We performed the sampling and we analyzed them. In phase contrast microscopy, we could see that we have successfully differentiated them into neuronal-like cells, like there is less proliferation, less division, neuroids branches and dendrite growths. And when we checked at the methylation for the synaptophysin, which is a synaptogenesis gene, we saw that there is less methylation in differentiated cells in comparison to undifferentiated. But this effect did not show in the mRNA levels. There was no significant difference. So we decided to look into it through immunocytochemical analysis. In the green color, we could see that synaptophysin was expressed in differentiated cells in dot-like manner, which means the more localized manner. So for the protein to work properly, it should be localized properly. But in the undifferentiated cells, it was more homogeneous. We moved to the next step. We intoxicated our differentiated cells with different kind of cannabis. Tetrahydrocannabinol, which is the principal constituent of cannabis, anandamide, which is endogenous cannabis, and HU210, which is synthetic cannabis. And we followed the same scheme for our experimentation. In our first analysis, we saw that differentiated cells intoxicated with THC had compromised neuronal differentiation, but methylation was quite higher in THC intoxicated cells in comparison to differentiated cells. Again, we did not see differences in messenger RNA. So we looked into it again through the immunocytochemical analysis. And again, we have observed that expression of synaptophysin was more homogeneous, like undifferentiated cells in THC intoxicated cells in comparison to differentiated cells. This is day 5 data. We thought maybe we have missed something between day 1 to day 4. So we started with time point experiment. We collected the samples on day 1, 2, 3, 4 and followed the same scheme. I will be very brief that our day 4 data has only confirmed our data which we observed from the day 5, like from the phase contrast microscopy, methylation data and mRNA data. So in conclusion, we have seen higher methylation in undifferentiated cells, but we did not see differences in mRNA level. Let me tell you that for the protein to work properly, it is required that it is localized at a proper place. And hypermethylation may be disturbing the localization of this protein. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I would like to answer. And thank you, University of Faisalabad, for arranging such a nice event, and Miss Amna Habib for inviting me to the talk. Thank you very much. No question? Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdul Qayyum Khan. Now I would like to call Dr. Sana Inam. Dr. Sana Inam has done her PhD in pharmaceutics and is working as an assistant professor at this Government College University, Faisalabad. Dr. Sana.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to thank the organization committee of the University of Faisalabad and particularly Dr. Amna Hamid for providing me this platform to share a little bit of my knowledge with you all. So let me cut down my discussion under the topic of combination of in vitro and computational effort in boosting up the solubility of hydrophobic drugs. For this, we have selected a model drug that is belonging to the biopharmaceutics classification system of the class 2. The solubility has been limited, so there is a need of a system for boosting up the solubility. That whole idea will be discussed under these outlines. So it is frequently reported that 40% of the new chemical entities have poor solubility regardless of their better permeability. So numerous approaches have been proposed in the literature. Among them, the solid dispersion has been chosen owing to reduced particle size, better wettability, and the better stability, and the better solubility. This idea was firstly proposed by Shekogi and Obai in 1961, and in the same year, first time, the solid dispersion of sulfamethoxazole has been launched. So more classically, we can define the solid dispersion system consisting of the two components. One is a carrier, that is a polymer which may be crystalline or amorphous, and the second one component is a hydrophobic drug that is dispersed either as a crystalline, as an amorphous, or a discrete molecule into the polymeric carrier. So on that basis, we have the classification of the solid dispersion on the basis of these carriers, first, second, third, and fourth generations. So the present study is being taken into consideration the third generation owing to their better dissolution, better stability, and inhibition of the recrystallization. And to execute that idea, the use of the AI technology has been taken. For this, the docking has been utilized to find out the best suited polymer for the formulation, so that the purpose is to reduce the wet labs. So as a result of this, the minimal manpower has been limited. These are the various softwares which are being available commercially for the development of this type of the dosage systems. Among this, the gold one is selected for the screening out of the polymer. So for this, first we have run the study with gold docking, in which the numerous polymers, Soloplus, Collidon, PEG, and HPMC have been run, and it has been screened out that the Soloplus has given the best energy stability, so it has been chosen for the study. And for this, the Soloplus has been utilized for the preparation of the solid dispersion by easily scalable methods. The dry method, that is the co-grinding, and the wet method, that involves the use of the solvent evaporation method by RotaVap. Then all the formulation which has been developed by using this Soloplus has been formulated with increasing ratios of the Soloplus, and all formulations have been evaluated by these parameters. Like you will see here, that is the poor solubility of the drug in PBS, phosphate buffer saline. Both methods have contributed an increase in the solubility. Among them, RSE5 has been suggested the better solubility. All formulations have shown the yield and the drug content in the acceptable limits of the official. That was suggested that the method is suitable and reproducible. Based on the solubility, the in vitro dissolution studies has been carried out in the phosphate buffer saline, and it has been indicated that the pure drug has released about 25% of the drug in the 5 minutes, and all the formulations have increased the drug release more than 45% in the initial 5 minutes, and all formulations have shown boosted increase in the solubility. Similarly, we can observe no chemical similarities have been observed within the spectra of rosuvastatin calcium and the optimized formulations, which has been screened out from the previously characterizations by the solubility, drug content, and the dissolution behavior. Then you will see here there is reduction in the intensity of the FTR peak of the carbonyl compound, carbonyl group, and at 1736, and reduction in the intensity of the carbonyl group at 1632 to 602 and 1617 was suggestive of the dispersion or entrapment of the drug into the polymer. Then the melting endothermic peak of the drug has been detected at 220 degrees centigrade. A peak of minute intensity has been depicted at 107 that was suggestive of the amorphous behavior of the soluplus. All these characteristics peak have been completely flattened in the optimized formulations by both the methods. Similarly, you will see that the crystallinity peaks of the rosuvastatin calcium have been reduced in intensity in both the formulations. Similarly, scanning electron micrographs shows that the drug has a proper crystalline structure, crystal habitat, and this is the structure of the polymer that is suggestive of the amorphous behavior of the polymer. In this optimized formulation, you will see that the particle size has been reduced, contributing towards the boosted solubility, and the particles are now intermingled with the carrier but distinguishable. Further, you can see here in this image that is of RSE5 that the drug is completely dispersed in the amorphous carrier and no longer distinguishable. These are the results of the docking with the different polymers initially, which has been conducted for the screening out of the polymer. On that basis, the selection of our carrier, that is the grafted polymer soluplus, has been done. And after that, the complex of the drug and the carrier soluplus that has been formed has been investigated for the receptor that was HMG-CoA reductase at the receptor site. And you will see that the binding affinity is indicated by minus 9.32. That was dominantly favorable or suggestive of the contribution of the docking in predicting the in vitro solubility behavior of the drugs. So finally, it will be concluded that the solid dispersions of the rosuvastatin calcium can be successfully prepared with the soluplus. Moreover, the solvent evaporation method was found more suitable. And it was also concluded that the in vitro solubility of the behavior of the drugs can be predicted by the molecular docking. Thank you. So any question? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sana. Now it's the time for we have waited for so long. I may please invite Professor Dr. Amanullah Malik on the stage. Dr. Shahid Ahmed Hira Sahab. Respected Dr. Amna Habib. Professor Dr. Matloob Ahmed Sahab. Professor Dr. Ishfaq Ahmed, Dean Allied Health Sciences from the University of Lahore. Dr. Shaista Shafiq. This is the time to award the honors to the persons who have been presented here in front of you and presented their works entitled. Dr. Sadullah Malik, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology. Dr. Sadia Rafiq from the University of Faisalabad, may please come on the stage. Dr. Majid Aziz, Assistant Professor in Department of Pharmaceutical Practice, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dr. Saira Salim, a renowned breast cancer oncologist. Dr. Shaista. Surgeon Professor Dr. Saira Salim. Dr. Abdul Qayyum Khan, Assistant Professor at University of Management and Technology. बस अब लंच का अनाउंस कर दो। Thank you so much, everyone. And now it's the time for the refreshments. Dr. Majid Aziz. Dr. Majid Aziz, please, sir, collect the shield. Now I would call Dr. Fatiha Mubin, Deputy Chief Scientist, NIPG, Assistant Control of Examination, and the group leader. May please receive the shield. Madam, shield. The guests are may please requested to move towards the outside area for the group photo. And the rest of the members of the audience are to please have your refreshment, and the session will resume in the Salim Auditorium after lunch.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. मैं ये अब कह रही हूँ कि अब इनके रैक कितने गए हैं? अब उठ गए हैं?
Audience may please have your lines aligned and please follow the discipline. So please.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। बच्चों, मुझे आप लोगों से एक बात करनी थी कि अभी सुबह जो सेशन हुआ है उसमें फ़िज़ियोथेरेपी तो नहीं था, लेकिन ये कि उसमें मुझे कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी नज़र आईं जो मैं आपको पहले ही बताने आया हूँ सेशन शुरू होने से। एक तो ये था कि जो हमारे चेयर हैं वो यहाँ बैठे हुए थे और वो ये बता रहे थे कि पीछे से बहुत सारी विस्परिंग थी। उन्होंने मुझे ये कहा कि शायद ऑडियंस उनके कंसर्न डिसिप्लिन की नहीं है, इसलिए वो टॉकेटिव थे ज़्यादा। तो ये ड्यूरिंग द सेशन, अभी आप बेशक विस्पर करें, मुझे मना नहीं है, लेकिन ड्यूरिंग द सेशन कोशिश करिएगा कि जो चीज़ें सामने आपको नज़र आ रही हैं और जो चीज़ें बातें हो रही हैं उसको ग्रैस्प करने की कोशिश करेंगे। ओके ओके, पहली बात। दूसरी बात ये कि हमारा सेशन कुछ की नोट स्पीचेज़ हैं, 3 ऑनलाइन हैं हमारे उनका जो है लेक्चर्स, और उसके बाद कुछ प्रेजेंटेशंस हैं और वाइंड अप करेंगे चेयर। तो ये हमारे सेशन का कंस्ट्रक्ट है और ये सेशन जैसे ख़त्म होगा तो आप लोगों का सारा लंच उस वक्त होगा रेडी। ठीक हो गया? और जो भी इसके अलावा कोई बात होगी वो लेट यू नो। ओके, थैंक यू। डॉक्टर साहब वो पीछे से ये वाला एरिया फिल कर दें ज़रा, अगला हिस्सा फिल कर दें ज़रा।
ये ले कौन सी वाली लेनी है आप?
Is there any representative of DNS and nursing department जिसके पास लिस्ट हो आपकी अटेंडेंस की? आप में से कोई एक बच्चा डॉक्टर शानजे को और नर्सिंग वाले जो हैं वो अपनी कोऑर्डिनेटर को ज़रा कोऑर्डिनेट करके यहाँ पे बुला लें। रिहेबिलिटेशन डिपार्टमेंट की अटेंडेंस जो है वो अभी लेंगे, आपका जैसे नेम कॉल होगा सो यू मस्ट रेज योर हैंड, ताकि जो है वो सबसे राउंड अप करने की बजाय यहीं पे एक बार ही अटेंडेंस हो जाए। ठीक है, आ जाओ बेटा।
वजीहा नाज, जुनैरा हफीज, हानिया महमूद, कलसूम इमाम, माला जाहिद, फाइका, मोहम्मद हसन, कायनात सलीम, अक्सा बशीर, अरीबा रहमान, उसामा अकरम, वजीहा नाज, मोहम्मद रून, हाफिज़ा इज़्ज़तुल फातिमा, नुमान रऊफ़, रिमशा ज़हीर।
बेटा देखती भी जाओ, वो है भी।
अच्छा मैम, मुझे लगा भूलेंगे प्रेजेंट। मैम मुझे लगा आवाज़ है। हाँ जी करो। चलो चलो बोलो। हाँ चलो। माला जाहिद,
ये दे
फाइका,
ये दे, इसमें माइक में बोलो।
मोहम्मद हसन,
तुम बैठ।
कायनात सलीम, अक्सा बशीर, अरीबा रहमान, उसामा अकरम, वजीहा नाज, मोहम्मद हरून, हाफिज़ा इज़्ज़तुल फातिमा, नुमान रऊफ़, रिमशा ज़हीर, सबा अशरफ, वजीहा नाज, अक्सा गुलाम मुस्तफ़ा, मोहम्मद बिलाल, फ़िज़ा तारिक, मरियम नदीम, मुक़द्दस उमर, कशफ ज़ाहरा, मुदस्सिरा बशीर, आहला चौधरी, मोहम्मद असद अनवर, उर्वातिल वुस्का हबीब। जी मैम टिक कर रही हूँ। लाइबा तनवीर। नबीहा इशफाक। मोहम्मद सैफुल रहमान। बस ठीक है मैम 9 की ले लिया मैंने बस ठीक है ऐसे ही एड्रेस करना वो हो गई है
सर मेरी तो ये है इधर होना है तो क्या कर सकता है ये बताएं इसकी जो प्रोजेक्टर की मैंने कहा ये 2.5 सेकंड